Hello again, and thanks for sticking with us for part 2 of our Roland Video Manual. This video manual will give you all the basic information you need to operate your HP-603, HP-605, LX7, or LX17 model Roland piano. Remember, if you have problems at any point during this video, you can stop the video, rewind, and watch sections over and over again until you're 100% comfortable with the operation of your new piano. If at any time you'd like additional help, you may contact Roland's exclusive Piano Concierge service. This free service will connect you with a Roland piano technician who will patiently guide you through the process you wish to learn. Make sure you subscribe to the GIST YouTube channel so you won't miss any of our great video content. Also, if this video helps you, we ask that you please like it and share it with others who might need help with their Roland pianos. If you have a specific question, leave it in the comments below and we'll answer it for you as soon as we can. Before we begin, it's important to note that this video assumes your Roland is running on software version 1.05 or later. If you're running on an earlier software version, you'll want to update your piano so you can enjoy all the new Roland sounds. Watch the previous video for information on how to check your software version. Your new Roland piano offers over 300 instrument sounds, divided into just 5 panel buttons. To select a new instrument sound, simply press one of the 5 instrument menu buttons and use your plus or minus keys to navigate through the different sounds. The first 4 buttons contain the most commonly used Roland sounds, and the 5th button, the other button, contains the rest. Notice the arrow icon on your screen. When you see this, you know that you can press the corresponding arrow button to change the sub-menus within the other menu. Then, use the plus or minus keys to move through the instrument options. The last submenu is called GM2, and it contains over 100 sounds. To move quickly through them, you can press and hold the plus or minus keys. There may be times when you want to play a bass part with your left hand and use a completely different instrument for your right hand. This is called splitting the keyboard, and your Roland makes it easier than ever. Simply press the split button to begin the split. You can use the plus or minus buttons to change the instrument voice in your left hand. To change the instrument in your right hand, just press the left arrow button to highlight your right hand voice and use the plus or minus keys to change instruments. You can even change the point at which your keyboard splits. Just press the arrow keys until you see split point and use the plus or minus buttons to change it. The default is F-sharp 3, which is the F sharp below middle C, but you can easily change it to suit your needs. As you know, instruments with low sounds, like tubas, don't sound right when you play high notes that they can't reach. The same thing happens when you play a flute sound in the bass. So when you have your Roland split into 2 different sounds, you may need to adjust one or both of the sounds so you can play them in the proper register. This is called octave shift. Just arrow over to split, left shift, and use the plus or minus keys to adjust the octave until the instrument plays in its correct register. To turn off the split feature, just press the split button a second time. Keep in mind that you can save all of the settings we've covered so far, and some we're about to cover, in your registrations menu for immediate recall. We'll show you how to do that later in this video. The point is, this all may seem a little tedious right now, but once you're happy with your instrument setup, you can save it so you don't have to fiddle with all these details time and time again. One of the most common things to do on a Roland digital piano is to layer 2 sounds at the same time. This is called dual voice, and it's really easy to do. Just press 2 instrument menu buttons at the same time, or hit the dual button and it will immediately layer an instrument under your current voice. You can use the plus or minus buttons to change the bottom instrument. To change the top instrument, just press the left arrow button to highlight your top layer and use the plus or minus keys to change instruments. To change the volume balance between the two, making one instrument louder and the other softer, just arrow over to the dual balance and use the plus or minus keys to change the setting. To turn off the dual voice feature, just press the dual button a second time. Whether you're splitting the keyboard, selecting a special sound, or creating a mix of sounds with the dual feature, you can save all of these instrument presets into the piano's registration memory for instant recall. Once you have your instrument sound or sounds set up exactly the way you want it, or them, press and hold the registration button. You'll see 5 buttons begin to flash. Each of the flashing buttons contain 5 save slots. While still holding the registration button down, press one of the 5 buttons, we'll choose number 5 for this video, and use the plus or minus keys to move to the save slot you wish the new setup to occupy. We're just going to use the first one, 5-1. Release the registration button and the piano will ask you to give your setup a name. Use the arrow keys to move between the characters and use the plus or minus keys to change the characters. Once you've named your setup, press the Enter or Play button to write or save the setup. Never turn off the power while the screen says executing. Now you can recall your registrations with just the touch of a couple of buttons. Simply press the registration button, select the flashing button that corresponds with the setup you're looking for, and use the plus or minus keys to move through the save slots until you find your desired setup. It's that easy. You can even use either the middle pedal or the left pedal of your piano to advance through your registrations. To set this up, you need to go into the piano's function menu. Just press the ambience and brilliance buttons at the same time and arrow over to Reg Pedal Shift. Use the plus or minus buttons to select the center or left pedal. Now, whichever pedal you chose will advance the next registration each time you press it. To restore the pedal's original function, simply change the Reg Pedal Shift feature setting to off. As usual, you can exit the Functions menu by pressing the Ambience and Brilliance buttons at the same time. To some, registration settings are precious, especially if you work for a church or school and multiple people will be using your Roland. Thankfully, you can easily save your registrations to a USB flash drive and store them for safekeeping. You can even email them to a friend or coworker. Keep in mind that registrations are different from piano setups, which we discussed in the previous video. Piano setups only affect the piano sound and behavior. Registrations incorporate the piano sound as well as other instrument sounds and may include settings like transpose, dual and split voice, balance controls, or pedal functions. Each set of registrations contains 5 save slots in each of the 5 buttons for a total of 25 registrations. Though you can only load and use one registration set at a time, which means you can only have 25 registrations at once, you can have as many registration sets as you want on your flash drive. For piano teachers, this means you could name a registration set after each student, giving each student up to 25 preset options. For churches, you could have a registration set for Sunday morning worship, one for children's church, one for weddings, and so on. The sky's the limit. Once you have your USB drive plugged in, enter the Functions menu by pressing the Ambience and Brilliance buttons simultaneously. Use the arrow buttons to move through the menu options until you find Registration Export. Press the Enter or Play button to begin exporting your registration set. The piano will ask you to name your set. It's important to note that while each of the 25 registrations in the set have a name, you should also give the entire set a unique name as well. This will help you later when you want to load it back in. Press Enter or Play to execute, and never turn the power off while the piano is executing. To exit the Functions menu, press the Ambience and Brilliance buttons at the same time. Loading a previously saved set of registrations from your USB flash drive is very easy as well, but it will overwrite the registrations currently in your piano, so make sure you've saved your current registrations to a USB flash drive before loading new ones in. Once you're ready to go, simply plug the USB flash drive in and press the Ambience and Brilliance buttons at the same time. This will bring you to the Functions menu. Use the arrow buttons to select Registration Import and press the Enter or Play button to begin. You can use the plus and minus keys to cycle through the registration sets currently saved to your flash drive until you find the one you want. Once you have it, press the Enter or Play button to load it in. The piano will ask if you're sure. Press Enter or Play again to confirm. Never turn the power off while the piano is executing. To exit the Functions menu, press the Ambience and Brilliance buttons at the same time. Once you have your registration set or sets saved to a USB flash drive, you can make backup copies and even email them to others. Simply plug your flash drive into a computer and open the folder on your computer so you can see its contents. You can drag the registration set files into an email or copy and paste them onto your computer's hard drive. Piece of cake. One final tip for registrations. You can always turn your piano off and on again if you get stuck, or just turn the registration button off. If the registration button light is on, registrations are active. If the light is off, you can cycle through your piano sounds normally. Get back to your normal piano sound by pressing the piano menu button and pressing the minus key until it takes you clear back to the grand piano sound. Roland's signature twin piano feature is a powerful educational tool and a great way to wrap up this video. All you have to do is press the twin piano button and you're set. Now, each player has a middle C, and the right pedal becomes a sustain pedal for the right side, while the left pedal becomes a sustain pedal for the left side. You can use the right arrow button to adjust the twin piano mode to pair, where both students can hear each other through both speakers and headphones, or individual, where each student's sound comes out of their corresponding speaker only, and they cannot hear each other through headphones. To leave twin piano mode, press the twin piano button again. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more great content in the next one. We'll cover how to play along with a full band accompaniment, how to speed up your music or transpose audio files. We'll also discuss how to connect your tablet or smartphone via Bluetooth. So stick around, the best is yet to come.